Hey everybody, in this episode of Pool School, I thought I would show those of you who have a sand filter with a Hayward Vari-Flow valve on it, how to backwash that filter. So, if you don't have a filter like that, you can skip this lesson, but if you do, you're going to want to watch this. Let's go to school. So, this is the Hayward Vari-Flow valve. This one is the XL version, and it can attach to pretty much any sand filter. A lot of people use these. They require a little bit different plumbing, but some people have this kind of system, so I want to show you how to use it. You notice there's a lot of little selections there in this top part, and that arrow is pointing to filter. That's where it's normally going to be when you're running your filter. That allows the water to go through the sand, get cleaned up. So first thing when you're backwashing one of these, you want to make sure for sure that your motor is off. Always when you backwash a filter, make sure the motor is off. So here behind this particular box is a time clock, and you notice the time clock is off and there's no chance of it coming on based on where the on and off tabs are. So that's a good sign for me. So I'm going to go ahead and take this selector here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to push down on the long end of it, and it's going to raise up, and then I'm going to twist it all the way to the bottom and release it till it fits in that groove right there, and that says backwash. And that's where I'm going to backwash the pool. So now what I got to do, this has a box to protect the equipment. It's just one of those things. I'm going to fire up the system, turn it on. It's going to take a second because this particular system has a little air in it, and it's going to start running. And what's happening right now is the water is working backwards inside the sand filter, and it's starting to flush out and backwash out of this pipe. Now they have a pipe running out to their yard here where they can drain it, and they can run their backwash into the rocks. And so I let this run for about 1.5 minutes to 2.5 minutes, depending on the need. And again, I'm watching the water, and the water starts running clear. I give it a few more seconds and I turn it off. Also, you want to make sure that your pool has enough water in it before you start backwashing it. If for some reason it doesn't, you could get it through that skimmer cover right there, that skimmer basket. You could end up sucking air into the system. So I'm going to let it run for 1 minute or 2, and then I'll be right back. Okay, the system has run long enough and the water's going clear, so I'm going to come back here and shut the time clock off. That shuts the system off. You notice that water stopped running. I'm going to open this lid again, and what I'm going to do is go to this selector valve again, and I'm going to push down on that long end, and I'm going to rotate it all the way to the notch just before the filter notch, and this says rinse. This is critical. You want to rinse out the water, because what happens is a little bit of water, a little bit of dirty water ends up in the return or up in the top, and so you want to clear that out. So that's what that rinse feature is for. It's so that little extra dirty water doesn't come blowing back in your pool. Again, I turn on the system. It rinses it for a couple seconds. Another thing that you'll notice is there's a little glass down here. See that little glass right there? That'll indicate to you if the water is rinsed, and you can turn your filter back to filter. That'll be clear. The water in there will clear up. So I'm going to shut it off now. That's about all it takes. So I shut it off. I'm going to go back to the filter, make sure again the system gets a chance to settle. It means you don't want to shut it off and immediately turn the dial. I'm going to take my hand, push down on the long end again, which raises the selector. I'm going to rotate it back up to filter, let it release, make sure it seats in there, and then I'm going to turn the system back on. And that's all it takes, folks. Now your pool's running again, your filter's nice and clean. So folks, there you have it. That's how you backwash a sand filter equipped with a Hayward Vari-Flow valve. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them in the comment section below this video, or you can email me directly at kennypoolschool@gmail.com. Again, it'll show up down here, kennypoolschool@gmail.com. Please again, like and share this video with your friends who own pools. And lastly, please, 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 be cool, stay safe, and always, always watch your kids around water. We'll see you next time.